Ateniti, Yakut tribes survived winters using only methods passed down through 10,000 years of frozen existence.
At -71 degrees, these ancestors had no engines, no radios, no rescue, only knowledge and will to survive. The village's underground ice cellar holds barely enough dried fish and meat for 2 more weeks of survival.
Inside these Balagan dwellings, 3 generations share body heat and dwindling food supplies through endless darkness.
Before any great hunt, the shaman reads messages in burned shoulder bones of previous kills, seeking guidance from spirits.
Nikolai prepares weapons his great-grandfather made. A bow of birch wood and sinew, arrows tipped with traded Russian iron. His wife Maria stitches 7 layers of fur into hunting clothes that will mean the difference between life and frozen death.
Yakut children learn to read snow-like written language before they reach 10 winters of age.
8 hunters will travel on foot and wooden skis, carrying only what their bodies can bear for 2 weeks. The blessing ceremony binds the hunters' spirits to their ancestors, who walked this same frozen path for millennia.
Without horses or machines, the hunting ground lies 5 days' journey north through forest and frozen river valleys.
These skis are carved from single trees, their bottoms covered with reindeer leg fur that grips ice while sliding forward.
The chum shelter takes 1 hour to erect, using poles carried from the village and hides that serve as both wall and blanket.
Survival food requires no cooking. Frozen raw meat and fish preserve perfectly at these temperatures and sustain life.
Old Dmitri shares wisdom earned through 40 winters of hunting, each story a survival lesson disguised as entertainment. Organization is survival. Losing one crucial item means potential death for the entire party.
River ice that seems solid can hide death beneath. One wrong step sends you into water that kills in 90 seconds.
Knowledge transfers through demonstration and repetition, because in this life, there are no second chances for mistakes.
Wolf packs follow the same reindeer herds we hunt, making them both competitor and constant danger.
This pack numbers at least 12, large enough to consider humans as potential prey if we show weakness.
Without these carved wood goggles, the endless white would steal our vision within 3 days.
Our grandfathers carved these trail signs into living trees centuries ago. Permanent maps written in wood and stone.
Katerina reads the sky and declares that we have 4 hours before a 3-day blizzard traps us wherever we stand.
This cave has saved hunters for 500 years, its entrance marked with ancient carvings honoring the mountain spirit. Every hunter who uses this shelter leaves firewood and food for the next, an unbroken chain of survival spanning centuries. Katerina adds her carving to the collection, each piece representing a hunter who survived by finding this sacred place. For 72 hours, we exist in this stone womb, while the Arctic tries to erase all trace of human life outside.
Dmitri teaches the story of First Hunter, whose spirit guides all Yakut people who respect the old ways.
The blizzard has rewritten the world, but ancestral knowledge remains unchanged in our memory.
Ivan learned navigation from his grandfather, who learned from his. Knowledge older than any written map. The great herd passed during the storm, following migration routes carved into their blood over 10,000 years.
Katerina estimates 500 reindeer moved through this valley within the last day, heading toward winter feeding grounds.
Decisions are made by consensus. No single voice commands, because survival requires collective wisdom.
These snowblinds use techniques unchanged since the Stone Age, become part of the landscape, and the prey never sees you.
Bowstrings of animal sinew must be kept warm against the body, or they snap like ice when drawn.
Iron tips are precious, traded from Russian merchants. Most arrows still use bone points that kill just as effectively.
We smell like prey by rubbing our clothes with glands cut from previous kills. Deception is survival.
We sleep like Arctic foxes. burrowed into snow that insulates better than any dwelling humans can build.
Katerina tends the fire through darkness because dehydration kills faster than cold at these temperatures.
Our ancestors believed the northern lights were spirits of successful hunters dancing. Perhaps they were right.
We position ourselves as wolves do, because we learned hunting from watching the masters of this frozen world. Patience at -71 means becoming ice yourself. Thinking slows, time disappears, only the hunt remains. Scouts come as they have for 10,000 years, unaware that humans wait with weapons older than memory.
The great herd moves like a single organism, each animal following instincts written in their bones by countless generations.
Nikolai signals with sounds that belong to this landscape. Reindeer never flee from ptarmigan calls. 8 bows bend as one, sinew strings creaking, arrows that took days to craft ready for their single purpose. The arrows fly in silence, giving no warning before ancient death finds the largest bulls. 6 perfect shots drop 6 massive bulls, each arrow placed exactly where grandfather's grandfather taught.
The herd's confusion gives us time for spear work before they identify the threat and vanish forever.
The survivors flee in panic, but 10 reindeer remain still in the snow. 10 gifts from the spirit world.
Katerina performs the first blessing, thanking the reindeer's spirit for feeding our children through winter's end.
Each man speaks to the spirit of the animal he killed, acknowledging the debt that can never be fully repaid.
These knives were forged by the village blacksmith, using techniques taught by Mongol traders 3 centuries ago.
Dmitri teaches cuts that maximize usable meat while honoring traditional ways of separating muscle from bone.
The organs are treasures. Liver restores strength, heart gives courage, and both are eaten fresh as tradition demands.
10 reindeer must be processed before the meat freezes solid, giving us perhaps 4 hours of working time.
This scraping tool was carved by Ivan's great-grandfather and has processed thousands of hides across 5 generations.
Nothing is wasted. Antlers become knife handles, sewing needles, fish hooks, and items for trading with Russian merchants.
These leg tendons will become the sinew that binds our arrows, sews our clothing, and strings our bows.
Katerina teaches which glands hold the musk we use for hunting, knowledge she learned from her grandmother.
Marrow contains more life-giving fat than any other part. 1 kilogram of marrow equals 3 kilograms of meat.
Our measuring stones were calibrated by ancestors generations ago, each one representing 10 kilograms exactly.
The hunt tally is recorded in knots, each type representing different meat cuts and quantities for fair village distribution.
2,800 kilograms means survival, enough to feed our 40 families for 3 months if rationed correctly.
The meat must be elevated above snow and protected until we can transport it. Wolves will steal everything otherwise.
The hides freeze into solid cylinders within minutes, making them easy to transport on wooden sleds.
Weight distribution determines whether sleds slide smoothly or tip and spill precious cargo down mountainsides.
Katerina marks this cache with symbols, asking the forest spirits to protect our food until we return.
The village needs news of success, so the fastest skier must make the 5-day journey alone with the message.
Young Pyotr volunteers for the honor and danger of the messenger run. 5 days alone at -70 degrees.
Katerina gives him an ancient amulet carved from mammoth tusk her grandfather found frozen in the riverbank.
One man skiing alone across frozen wilderness carries the difference between hope and despair for 40 families.
For 5 days the village has waited, hope and fear balanced equally on every face. The first to spot the messenger is always a child, their sharp eyes and hope never dimming, even in darkness.
Pyotr raises his spear to the sky 3 times, the ancient signal that the hunt succeeded, and families will eat.
The entire village weeps openly because survival is confirmed. Winter will not take their children this year.
The celebration feast uses the last of stored supplies because new meat is coming and hope has returned.
The messenger!
Every person strong enough to pull a sled makes the journey, and this is community survival requiring community effort. 30 villagers on skis, 40 sleds. This is how Yakut people have retrieved successful hunts for 5,000 years.
Those too young or old to travel wait in the village, tending fires and praying for safe return. We move slower than the hunters traveled, because we save our strength for the brutal return journey carrying weight.
The meat is perfect, frozen solid, protected from scavengers, and preserved better than any smokehouse could achieve.
The return takes 7 days, because we move at the speed of the weakest person. No one is left behind.
Each night we camp together, the distance shortening between us and home, between winter and survival.
Seeing home after 2 weeks in the wilderness feels like returning from the spirit world to the living.
Distribution follows laws older than memory. Every family receives according to their size and need, not merit or status.
The oldest grandmother blesses the meat because she has seen more winters than anyone and understands what this means.
Tonight, the village celebrates not just food, but the continuation of tradition.
At negative 71 degrees in 1890, these Yakut people survived the same way their ancestors did